morning, I'm Megan Olson, and this is my formal observation video. We will be working off of lesson plan number 7 today. I'd like to introduce you to my friends. This is Mason, and this is Addison, and both Mason and Addison will be second graders next year. So we're going to start our lesson the way we always start, which is about 5 minutes of silently exploring their book boxes. So you guys can go ahead and go. Great job. A couple minutes left and then we'll move on. put your books in your box. Now you are going to need to choose 4 crayons out of your box. Any 4 colors you'd like. Choose 4 crayons and then you can put your box back. You still have the highlighter, yes. I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds.
How many?
10 seconds to choose 4
No, I mean-
crayons. Oh, I'm sorry, 4. Mason needs 1 more. Awesome. Okay. Perfect. All right. Now, what you're going to do with these 4 crowns is when you are working by yourself, when you're not doing your reading with me, you're going to be working on this worksheet, and it talks about how words have consonants and vowels and consonants in them. Okay, who can remind me what a consonant is? What's a consonant?
A consonant is a letter that is not A, E, I, O, or U.
Perfect. And what is A, E, I, O, and U? Addison?
A vowel.
Those are vowels. Good. Okay. So you can see on this worksheet we have 4 boxes up top. And they all have endings. Okay, so what's this first ending say?
Ak, ik,
Awk, and ick. Good. So you're going to be looking down here on the bottom, and instead of cutting today, we're going to use our crayons. So we have 4 different colors. So you can decide which color you want each box to represent. So maybe if I were Mason, I might want the red crayon to represent any words that end in UCK. Okay? So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to be looking. Any words that I find end in UCK, what color would I make them?
Red.
Red. Okay? So do you get how it's done? Okay. So if I were you, my suggestion would be you take your crayons and decide which color you want each box to be. And then that way when you're down here, all you have to do is look up and see which color you need to color that rectangle. Okay? So you clear on what you're doing when you're not doing your reading? Okay. Does someone want to volunteer to start first with their reading? Okay, I think we have a number between 1 and 10. And I have my number. This is number 5. Okay, Addison, you're the lucky person who gets this one. Stand right beside me.
I'm not.
I'll show you. Come on over. Mace, you can go ahead and get started on this.
Wait, what was the lucky person?
The lucky person gets to start with your fluency read. So come on over.
I want to start on this.
Okay, you're going to sit here, Addison.
Okay.
So this is what we're reading today, okay? And what I'm going to have you do, just like we've done in the past, is, remember, you're not looking at it, right? You're going to take your time, and you're going to read each word carefully, right? And what should you start with?
The title.
The title, good. And you're going to get all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to be timing you to see how long it takes you. Now, should I rush through it and go really fast?
Stop
No.
at periods.
Stop at periods, take your break, and make sure that you're really working on saying those words correctly. Okay, so we're going to wait 1 second and get the timer ready. And you're so excited. I can see that.
No.
Not quite yet. Still taking a second to get loaded here.
Yeah.
Not quite yet. My watch is a little slow. Oh, I can see it's almost ready. I like how you remembered to stop at the periods. That's good. When that bar gets all the way to the across, it usually means it's
Go.
ready.
The nest. The wind was blowing. Birds was cold. The wind was blowing. Birds was cold. She turned around in her nest. Then Bird saw the hole in her nest. She asked Crow,
for help. Crow was eating. She asked Jay for help. Jay was turning away. I can do it, said Bird. I will show them. Bird flew down to the ground. She found 6 twigs and picked up some fur. Bird took them to her nest. It was time to work. She put her fur over the twigs. She half fixed the hole. She said, hole, said Bird. Now I will have a warm nest.
Okay, nice job. Now tell me how you felt about that.
That one was weird.
Okay, what was weird about it?
It said Bird was cold.
Okay.
The wind was blowing. Bird was cold. It didn't make sense to me.
Okay, so it says the wind was blowing. Bird was cold. Now it makes a little bit of sense. Okay, so you know what else I noticed that you did? There was a couple sentences that you skipped. Okay, so what I want you to do is we're going to try it again, and this time I want you to use your finger. Okay, and you're going to use your finger and you're going to track that whole line. Because I think that sometimes when you get over here, you get confused and you just jump down a line. And sometimes you accidentally skip a line when you do that. So let's use our finger to go across so that we know when we are moving on.
Now?
Now, just 1 second. Okay, you ready?
The wind was blowing. Bird was cold. She turned around to her nest. Then Bird saw the hole in her nest. Can I fix it? Bird asked herself. She asked Crow for help. Crow was eating. She asked Jay for help. Jay was turned away. Bird flew down. I can do it, said Bird. I will show them. Bird flew down to the ground. She found 6 twigs and picked up some fur. Bird put the twigs over the hole. She put the fur over the twigs. I have fixed the hole, said Bird. Now I have a warm nest.
Okay, good job. How'd you feel about that one?
Good.
Better? Okay, I think you did better with your finger tracking. We're going to try one other way this time. We're going to use this, and we're going to have you move it down each time that you move down a line, because I still notice that you skipped a line. Okay? And I think you just get in a hurry. So,
Or we could use one of these.
that doesn't go quite as far as the words across the
I
page.
know, I do that with my bookmark all the time.
That's a great idea.
Can I get my bookmark?
Sure.
Wait.
Did you
What
bring
would
it?
I put in my book?
Well, you can put this in the book.
Oh.
Listen, you're doing a great job.
See, I put the book here.
Perfect.
Yeah. If I could.
Oh. We got one more read to do, so come on back.
No, I'm looking what page I'm on.
Perfect. Okay. You gonna use that?
Yep.
All right. Are you ready?
This?
Whichever one you want. Do you want to use the big paper or your bookmark?
Title.
Okay. Remember to start at,
The title. The nest.
put it underneath. There you go.
Right. Now?
Mm-hmm.
The nest. The wind was blowing. Bird was cold. She turned around to her nest. Then she saw the hole in her nest. Can I fix it? Bird asked herself. She asked Crow for help. Crow was eating. She asked Jay for help. Jay just turned away. I can do it, said Bird. I will show them. Bird flew down to the ground. She found 6 twigs She picked up some fur. Bird took them to her nest. It was time to work. Bird put the twigs over the hole. She put the fur over the twigs. I have fixed the hole, said Bird. Now I have a warm nest.
Perfect. How'd you feel about that one?
Good.
Good? You know what? That was much better. You didn't skip any lines. You made a couple mistakes and you corrected yourself as you went along. So that was awesome. Switch. You go work on your paper. Mace? Yep. Do one more. I'm going to get this ready for Mason.
So what do I do with the papers?
So
I
remember,
know.
you're using your 4 crayons.
There you go. You almost
Thank
put
you.
that down.
I didn't bring that. Okay, you ready? Take your time.
The nest. The wind was blowing, Bird was cold. She turned around in her nest. Then Bird saw the hole in her nest. Can I fix it? Bird asked herself. She asked Crow for help. Crow was eating. She asked Jay for help. Jay was just turned away. Jay just turned away. I can do it, said Bird. I will show them. Bird flew down to the ground and found 6 twigs. She picked up some fur. Bird took them to her nest. It was time to work. Bird put the twigs over the hole. She put the fur over the twigs. She put the fur over the twigs. I have fixed the hole, said Bird. Now I have a warm nest.
Awesome. Okay, tell me how you felt about that one.
I felt a little fast, but
Okay. You felt like you were rushing
yeah,
a little bit?
I
Okay.
was just a tiny bit.
And when you used your finger to track, tell me why you did that.
I did that because I'm kind of like addicted to doing that.
Oh, okay. It helps you keep your place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because sometimes when I don't do that, when I read chapter books,
Mm-hmm.
I go through them and I'm like, no, I forget what line I'm
You
supposed to
forget
go
what
on.
line you're on, or sometimes you might reread it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that was pretty good. We're gonna try it again and see if you can improve on what you felt like you rushed on this time, okay? Are you ready?
The nest.
Go ahead.
The nest. The wind was blowing, Bird was cold. She turned around in her nest. Then Bird saw the hole in her nest. Can I fix it? Bird asked herself. She asked Crow for help. Crow was eating. She asked Jay for help. Jay just turned away. She asked Jay. I can do it, said Bird. I will show them. Bird flew down to the ground. She found 6 twigs. She picked up some fur. Bird took them to her nest. It was time to work. Bird put the twigs over the hole. She put the fur over the twigs. I have fixed the hole, said Bird. Now I have a warm nest.
Good job. So out of those two, which one do you feel like you did better on?
Um,
And remember, better doesn't mean it was quicker. It just means it felt more comfortable and you maybe didn't make as many mistakes with your words or
The
the second one?
wait, no, the first.
You think the first one? Okay. I really only noticed a couple mistakes.
Did I miss a few lines?
No, you repeated a line, but that's okay. Sometimes that happens when you are going through it like that. So we're gonna try one more time and then we'll see which one of
My
those
time was less.
time was less the second time. Okay, you ready?
The nest. The wind was blowing, Bird was cold. She turned around in her nest. Then Bird saw the hole in her nest. Can I fix it? Bird asked herself. She asked Crow for help. Crow was eating. She asked Jay for help. Jay was just turned away. I can do it, said Bird. I will show them. Bird flew down to the ground. She found 6 twigs. She picked up some fur. Bird took them to her nest. It was time to work. Bird put the twigs over the hole. She put the fur over the twigs. I have fixed the hole, said Bird. Now I have a warm nest.
Awesome. That one feel pretty good?
Mm-hmm.
You did great. Okay. You know what? You can go over back to your chair. So, real quick, Mason, you can work a little bit more on that. I'm gonna ask you something. No, we're not gonna color on that. So, when we're reading like that, is it more important to go fast, or is it more important to get the words correct?
Get the words correct. So go slow.
Okay, doesn't mean you have to go slow, but it means that
Just
you
kind
are
of like kind of like the right pace.
at a normal pace, right? Because if I read something and I just decide I want to read it really fast and I mess up on a lot of words, is it going to make sense?
No, you'll be
No.
like, and then you'll mess up when if you have to tell it.
If you have to retell it, exactly. If you have to be able to tell what the story says, if you rush through it just to get through it, you're not going to know what it really means, right?
And what if they ask questions after?
Exactly, very good. So while Mason's still working on that, we probably won't have time to finish it, but let's look at the worksheet that you've been doing. So, Addison, I want you to choose 5 of your pink words.
Because I
You
have 2
kinda
of
have
them.
2
and I got
pinks. Maybe your light pinks, your OCK
Duck.
words, and let's do your OCK words. Choose
Oh.
5 and read those aloud for us.
Dock,
Mm-hmm.
sock. Wait, how many?
5. You have 2.
Knock,
Good,
block,
good,
rock.
and rock. Good. Now let's do 5 of your green words.
Wick, pick, sick, take.
Awesome. How about red?
Back, rack, jack, sack.
One more. So one more.
Crack.
Crack. Okay, good job. Now your UCK words.
Duck, wait, no.
Mm-hmm. UCK.
Duck. Wait, I said that no.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it's a UCK word.
Duck. Truck. Mug, buck,
One more.
suck.
Okay. Perfect. Good job. Mason, why don't you choose? You can put it in your folder. Mm-hmm. Mason, choose 2
What is this?
of your
What is this?
UCK words.
Duck and suck.
Okay. How about your ICK?
2. Sick, pick.
Okay. If I asked you what that word was, what would you tell me?
Crack.
Good. What about this one?
Knock.
Okay. Let's do one more and then you can put that in your folder and finish that one later. How about your ACK words? Choose 3 ACK words.
Back, rack, sack, jack.
Awesome. Okay,
What are
perfect.
our boxes if we don't finish?
I just have them put over on the side, just because they take up a lot of space.
Oh.
Okay. So Mason, why don't you go ahead and put that in your folder, put your crayons away if you
Okay,
haven't already done that,
I just put my crowns in here.
if you'd like. And
What is-
we're
oh.
going to move on to our next one.
Okay.
So we're going to be reading a news story here in just a little bit, but I have a question for you first. And that question is, have you ever dreamed of ever living somewhere different?
I
Somewhere
live somewhere different right now.
you do. You just moved, didn't you? Yeah.
But we're staying at somebody's house
You're
for a little
Are
bit.
you staying with your aunt?
We're
Oh,
staying
just
with one of our friends.
with one of your friends? Okay. Have you ever dreamed of living someplace like far away, like you've never?
We're going to.
You are.
We're gonna move out of state.
You are.
We're gonna move to Chicago or Atlanta.
And is that going to be exciting? Are you excited about that?
Is she
I'm
gonna come
excited
here
that I'm
anymore?
going to go on a plane, but I'm not excited that I'm going to live with more friends.
Oh, but you know what, Mason? You're going to make new friends
Is he
because
gonna?
you're a good kid like that.
Is he gonna be here anymore?
No.
He might be moving. Addison, have you ever thought of a place? Have you ever dreamed of living in a place different than
When I was born, we had to move.
when you were born? But what about someplace far away? Like sometimes
Because when
I.
I was born, my sister had her crib, so I couldn't sleep in that one. So I had to sleep in a drawer.
Oh,
Well, they didn't close it.
right. Okay. All right.
And
So
it
what
was
about
weird.
has anybody ever dreamed of like living at Disney World?
I've dreamed of living in the pool.
You dreamed of living in a pool?
At the pool.
At the pool. Ooh, what would that be like? Do you think?
I think it would be kind of crazy.
Get a little bit crazy. What if you could get into the food place and get all the frozen pizza you wanted? Would that be awesome? Addison, what if you could think of someplace crazy to live? Where would that be?
A pottery room.
A pottery room? So you could do all the crafts that you wanted? Yeah.
My grandma made a little artillery set.
Oh. You know
Was
what?
our
Sometimes
teacher.
I think that I would love to live in the zoo. Would that be fun?
My grandma
No.
is a teacher.
No?
You are a teacher. My grandma's a teacher, and she is a
Because you
teacher
know
with
what?
pottery.
Some people actually have some of the animals unlocked.
Oh, yeah. That would be a little bit scary. You're right. I just thought it would be fun just to be able to.
But you actually could live for one night.
Yeah, one night would be fun. All right. So we're going to read a story today. And this story is about a duck. Okay? And this duck, he dreams of living someplace else. He lives somewhere now and he dreams of living someplace else. So in the story, he goes to find a new place to live and things don't quite turn out like he thought they would. So we're going to read a little bit about that. But before we start that, there's going to be a few words in this story that I think you're still going to recognize them, but I want to talk a little bit about what they mean just in case. Okay? So the first word that you are going to see, perhaps in our story, is this word. You know what this word is?
Trotted.
Trotted.
I've heard of it, but I
Okay.
forgot what it means.
You've heard of it, but you forgot what it means. Okay?
Horses trot.
Horses do trot. And what do you think that means?
It means
Addison.
walking.
Okay?
Or kind of running fast with horses.
Kind of running fast. Okay? Awesome.
And then I put it in the
Let's see. What about this word?
Waddled.
Waddled.
Waddled?
Waddle. What kind of animal
Penguin.
waddles?
What? Penguin.
A penguin waddles? What else?
Waddle.
A wiener dog?
A wiener dog? What about in this story I just told you about? When there was going to be a character?
A duck?
A duck. Waddle. Right? So when you waddle, you kind of go back
I've
and
never
forth.
seen my cousin's duck waddle.
You kind of go side to side, kind of like a penguin when you think about a penguin.
My
Okay?
duck, my cousin's ducks never do that. Community.
Close.
Companion.
Close. This word.
Compassion.
What's this?
Come.
What's the T-I-O-N make? What sound?
Tin.
Shun. Remember?
Commotion.
Commotion. What is commotion? Have you ever heard of somebody saying there's a lot of commotion in there?
It's a lot of noise.
A lot of noise. That means there's a lot going on at one time and it's kind of confusing. Okay? This one's going to be an easy one.
Noisy.
Noisy. What's it mean? What's it mean?
It
to be
means that
noisy?
somebody's being really loud.
Making lots of sounds, right?
Like a trumpet
Okay.
or a drum.
All right. So we talked about trotted, and we said trotted means kind of a
Run
run,
slowly.
a slow run. So like a horse. Okay. Waddled, we said, means you kind of go back and forth, side to side. Noisy makes making a lot of sounds.
Like this.
And then commotion was the one that is a loud activity that makes it kind of confusing. Where at school do you think we have commotion?
Oh, the gym.
The
Because
gym?
sometimes people scream.
Okay. Where else?
Where people scream.
I'm thinking of a place at our school where we sometimes might have a lot of commotion.
Ooh.
Gym.
Besides the gym, what's another place?
Oh, the lunchroom.
The lunchroom. Absolutely.
Oh,
There's a lot of
I do
commotion
not
at
like
that time.
that.
Right?
That's why sometimes my dad takes me out to eat.
Yeah, it gets to be a little loud. Okay, perfect. So those are the words that we're going to run into. Now,
We're going to have a snack.
we are in just a little bit. Before we start our book, we're going to play one quick little game.
Yes.
Okay?
You want
Now.
this?
Nope, we can move it this way.
Okay.
There are 4 cards here, and you each are going to draw 2 of them. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to see on this card there's a sentence. Your job is you're going to turn and face your partner, which you guys are partners today, okay? You're going to turn and face your partner. You're going to read your sentence out loud. Now, you'll notice on the card there are lines. What do you think I meant when I put those lines there, Mason?
It's some. My teacher always does that.
Your teacher always says that?
It's either like a name. It's like a name.
Oh,
Okay.
I know.
What I would like for you to do when you see a blank or a line,
Fill
that
it
means
in with
you're
your
gonna fill
mouth.
it in with whatever you would put in that. So if the sentence was, my name is Mrs. Olson and
Are we gonna
I
write
live
that?
in, no, we're not gonna write, we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk, so you won't need that, okay? So you would fill in that sentence, okay? So, I'm gonna mix them up. And we'll let Addison start, since
Since she
she's
got-
our lady.
If I could live anywhere, I would live.
Oh, we kind of talked about this one. So you're gonna look at Mason and you're gonna tell him that. And I want you to answer that in a complete sentence.
I would live in a pottery room.
In the pottery room.
Because I could make lots of art just like my grandma.
Awesome. Mason, what would you say to Addison when she says that to you?
I would say that I would like making art crafts too.
Awesome. Okay, Mason, your turn. Draw a card.
If I could choose anything to eat for breakfast, it would choose candy and ice cream.
Okay, tell Addison, not me.
Candy and ice cream. Because I love sugar.
Addison, what would you say back to Mason?
I do too.
Would you choose the same thing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Addison, draw another card.
If I could have superpowers for the day, I would pick Wizard Eyes because I like heating stuff.
You'd like heating stuff up with your laser eyes? Mason, what
I
superpowers
like
would you
seeing
want?
fire.
I would want
Only pick one. And you can
um,
pick the same thing if you want.
turning into anything.
Oh, I know shape-shifting powers.
What is it?
Shape-shifting powers.
Shape shifting?
Yeah, like you can turn into anything.
Okay.
Even
Mason, read your last card for us.
If I could be an animal for a day, it would be a gorilla because gorillas are strong.
Addison, what would your response to that be?
I like gorillas too.
You like gorillas too? Okay, perfect. Here's what we're going to do. Before we start our book, we're going to take a little break, give you a chance to stretch your legs, use the restroom if you need it, have a quick snack. Sound like a good deal?
Yep.
Okay, let's stop for a minute. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at our story now, and let's see. As you remember, I told you it's going to be about a duck that moves to somewhere different. He dreams of living somewhere different, but when he gets there, it's not quite exactly what he'd hoped, right? So I want you to take a look at the cover of this book. Without opening the pages, just look at the cover, first of all. Tell me some things you recognize on that cover. Addison, what's one thing?
Taxi.
Oh, a taxi. Good. Mason?
That looks like a duck town.
It looks, what do you mean it looks like a duck town?
Well, one, because there's a crane that, well, it might be a wrecking ball.
Okay.
But it has, but it has a triangle instead of a circle.
Okay. Addison, what else?
It looks like the Big Apple.
And what is the Big Apple?
It's New York.
Oh, very good. Mason, what's another thing you recognize on this cover?
Daddy going to school.
You think he's going to school? What's the clue that you have there?
Because he has a backpack.
He has a backpack. Okay. Addison?
I think he's moving to another town.
Okay. We're getting ready to find out. So,
Oh, I know.
the title of this book.
I know one more.
And what is it?
He might be moving to the farm because the title says Duck Goes to the Farm.
Very nice. So it is called Duck Goes to the Farm.
And maybe he might be either going on a school trip or something.
Okay. So your job right now is to take a picture walk. I don't want you reading in the words. I just want you to take a silent picture walk, and I'll know you're finished when you're done because you'll close your book.
Oh, we're jumping.
Silent picture walk. Good. What kind of predictions do you have now, Mason, about this book?
That going to the farm is, he's going to the farm, but he meets all these new animals.
Okay, so he's going from wherever he lives to the farm, and he meets new animals. Addison?
When I look in this book, he meets big giant animals, and he doesn't like them. But once he sees a duck, like a fellow duck, he says he.
Oh, don't read the words.
He looks surprised once he sees all these ducks, and then he's happy.
Okay, now, starting at the front, starting at the cover of the book, you're going to go through, and I want you to count to yourself how many times you see duck in this story. Go.
Wait, starting at the cover?
Starting at the cover. Not the word, Mason, just the picture. Just the picture of a duck. Do you hear me? I didn't make myself very clear. Starting at the cover, you're looking for the picture of duck. How many times do you see a picture of duck?
Ten. 10 times. I see it 10 times. Wait, all the ducks?
All the ducks.
Wait, every single duck?
Every time you see a duck.
I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
Start again.
Oh, I know 13.
Keep it to yourself.
I'm confused.
Okay, Mason, your guess is 23. Addison, what's your guess?
Hold on.
I counted.
Well, I counted all of them. I thought those were geese.
Those are duck.
No, I thought the
Everything
ones
on
that
that
are flying
page.
were geese.
Everything on that page is a duck. So I think the one that you guys skipped, let's count together. Here's one.
I counted that one.
Hang on.
2, 3,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, now we're going to read this story and we're going to take turns reading the page. Remember, when you're reading, you're pausing at the periods, not writing it all together. So I'd like to see your books on the table. Mason, will you start by reading the title of the story for us?
Duck goes to
Duck goes to the farm. Oh, one question I have for you on the cover. Flip back to the cover. Who's the author of this book?
by Tammy
B. Martin, illustrated by Valerie Scovero.
Okay, that's a tricky last name.
Oh, I know.
Sakaluva, maybe?
Sakaluva.
What does illustrated mean?
They write the pictures.
Okay, all
I
right.
mean, not write the picture at all.
They draw the picture. So Doug goes to the farm.
I read the first page.
Mason's going to start that page.
Duck lived on a lake in a busy, noisy city. All day he could hear people laughing and talking. He could hear cars and trucks. He could hear loud machines at work. One day, Duck decided that he wanted to live somewhere different. My friend Gilbert lives on a farm. Duck said Duck, maybe I will move there if it's not too noisy.
Okay, Allison.
When Duck goes to the farm,
Oh, try again. Start
when
again.
Duck got to the farm, he began to look for Gilbert. Suddenly, a group of horses trotted past Duck. All he could hear was clippity cloppity. Clippity clop, clippity clop, clippity clop.
And what did we say trotted mean?
Horses running a little fast and a little slow.
Kind of slow. Okay, Mason.
Duck waddled away fast. Soon he found himself in the middle of a group of pigs. All he could hear was snort, snort, snort. I found noisy horses and pigs, but not Gilbert, said Duck.
Okay.
Duck hurried down the path. Just then, 3 large dogs came running by. All he could hear was bark, bark, bark.
Good deal. Mason.
Duck quickly went through a gate to get away from the dogs. Suddenly, chickens were everywhere. All he could hear was cluck, cluck, cluck. I found noisy dogs and chickens too, but where's Gilbert? Duck wondered.
Duck hurried back out the gate and up another path. A big flock of sheep was making an
Remember the first half. Break it down. And what does T.I. know?
commotion.
Good.
All he could hear was ba ba ba.
Duck didn't know what to do. He decided to look for Gilbert by the barn. Suddenly, a group of cows walked by. All he could hear was moo, moo, moo. Now I found noisy sheep and cows. I'll never find Gilbert, cried Duck.
Okay,
Ducks.
stop for 1 second. How do you think that Duck is feeling right now?
Sad because he can't find Gilbert.
He cannot find Gilbert, can he? He's run into all these noisy animals. And why does he even decide to go to the farm?
Because he thinks it's gonna be quiet.
He's risking his life to go find his friend.
Okay, where was he living in the very beginning of
The
our story?
Big Apple.
Well, it doesn't really say the Big Apple, but where would that be?
It looked like
In
New
the
York.
city.
In the city,
It
right?
looked like New York.
It does look a little bit like New York. Good. Okay,
Duck
page
sat
number 9.
down by the barn. That is where Gilbert found him. Poor Duck, said Gilbert. That's wrong. This farm
Try
is
that again. Poor duck, said Gilbert.
What's wrong? This farm is even noisier than the city, cried Duck. I wanted to live somewhere that's not so loud.
Okay, Mason, page 10.
I'm sorry, Duck, Gilbert said. I'm sorry, Duck, Gilbert said, but I'd like to show you something that may make you feel better.
That is where I live, said Gilbert. Duck smiled when he saw a leak at the end of the path. It is not good. It is not very noisy, Gilbert said. Just us ducks.
When they got to the lake, Duck jumped right in. There were ducks everywhere. All Duck could hear was quack, quack, quack. This duck noise, it's too loud, said Duck.
This
Quack,
duck
quack,
noise.
quack. This
Our companions, which is ducks.
Okay, so we said that Duck is happy at the end of the story, finally, right?
Because
So
it has duck companions.
Okay, so let's go back and think about what some of the key things we remember from the book. Mason, where does he start? Where does the duck start out?
He starts in a big city that is very noisy.
Okay, and he wants to go,
Somewhere that's really, really quiet.
he wants to go somewhere quiet. Do you think the farm was a good choice? Do you think the farm?
Yes.
Well, not when the dogs, the pigs, the horses, the
Okay.
cows were bothering him. But once he found the duck noise, he thought it was soothing and quiet.
Okay, and why do you think he thought that?
Because he's the duck.
And other ducks they can kind of feel like he's at home.
Okay, so it's
And
what
I
he
was
was
welcome
used
that.
to, right? And it helped him feel.
And he's the only duck that has that green thing on him.
Okay, that's a certain type of duck. I believe it's called a mallard. Okay, you guys did
Oh,
really,
I know
really
that.
good on that story.
Oh,
Now,
I know what a mallard is.
here is what I'm going to ask you to do. On this paper, there's just a couple questions
Oh, that's
about the story that we just read. And I'm just looking to see what you understand about it.
Is that
As we talked about it before, if you read really fast or if you're not paying attention, it's hard to know
Can we get our highlighter?
what the story is about, right? All you need is a pencil,
Oh,
okay? So, you are going to quietly, by yourself, work on...
duck.
I'm going to have you do some drawing after you get your writing done, okay? So start by just writing your answers to these. You may want to put your folder or something underneath if you want.
Wait, yeah.
Sorry, Mason.
Wait, is this my book?
You can use it to...
Oh, here's my cards. I
Okay.
never given you.
You can use your story, use your book if you need to. If you need to go back and look at the details so that you get it right.
Wait, do we do it on the bottom?
Underneath where that
I-
space is,
I don't know
wherever.
that one.
You can kind of choose where you want. Remember, I just want to see what you know from the story. You're thinking for yourself, so do your best job.
It can be sentences.
Yeah, sentences are great. Remember, if you're going to write a sentence, what does the sentence start with?
Capital.
Capital letter. And what does it end with?
Period.
Some type of punctuation.
Will I get my pencil?
You're going to need it to write, so yeah, you're going to want to get it.
Where'd it go? I went and
If it's just one, just go ahead and get it, Addison.
Okay.
If it's just one word, is that a sentence?
uh,
Or do you need check that first one because.
I know, I was going to erase that.
Got it.
And the capital, because I knew
Okay.
that was one.
Perfect.
Do I write duck with an uppercase letter?
That is his name, yes, you're right. So it would be uppercase.
What picture do I draw?
Why? Why did you enter why on that last one?
Do I just do the period or do I erase?
You can leave your period.
Because he is a duck.
So when you get finished, at the bottom of that page where you have some space,
Okay.
draw me a picture of what you think the lake where, the pond where duck was looks like.
Can I put the duck in it?
Sure,
Hold on, can I look at my book for that?
do that.
Oh
You
man,
read that.
I'm like,
Mason, do you want this book? So you're drawing a picture of what you think the pond where duck finds happiness would look like.
are we gonna color it after?
And get started on it. I would use your crayon guys, instead of your pencil.
Yeah, I'm gonna step on that. Well, I'm gonna start with my pencil and then I'm gonna color.
Okay.
Because what if you have to erase something? Wait, is it that one or the one at the end?
It doesn't have to be like what you see in the book, it's what you think in your head.
I know, but
Where does he find happiness at? Which picture shows where he finds happiness?
this one.
And while you guys are finishing that, just want to go over real quick kind of the things we did today. So we learned some new vocabulary words, noisy, waddled. Who remembers another one?
Concentration.
Oh, I know.
Close.
Commotion.
Commotion. Remember, commotion means confusing
And it's loud.
and it's loud.
And you complain to like different, like if there's a basement that's noisy and your neighbors hear it, then they call somebody.
Oh, well, sometimes that might happen.
And sometimes they call
Okay.
us to be quiet.
So, we learned some new vocabulary words. We
I know.
read a new story called Duck Goes to the Farm. Okay, we practiced some vowel and consonant vowel words earlier and had to color them. Okay, so we
Why
did
is
a
there
lot
not-
of things today.
There would not be one that you can. There isn't one that he doesn't like about the farm. What doesn't he like about the farm?
Yeah, what is he not? Why isn't there one that says what he likes about the farm? Like, in the story. I mean, or
On the paper?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't put that one. Okay. So Mason, if you're done writing, you can draw your picture of what the pond, you think the pond would look like.
I'm
where
doing
duck
duck.
found happiness.
I'm doing duck in it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. You did a nice job. Okay. So the next time be working on, we'll talk about some more of this story, play a game with some of those vocabulary words.
Why does Duck have spiky hair like that?
I think because it got wet. Is your hair ever spiky when it gets wet?
No.
No. Sometimes a boy's hair might be. 'Cause
Yep.
it's shorter. Okay. You guys did a really nice job today. I appreciate you working hard and staying focused. I'll see you next